Grace and peace, family. I hope everybody is feeling good this morning, this lovely Saturday. Hopefully you got some plans, but let's get right into this word. So this is going to be entitled, The Tactics of the Enemy. Because many of us don't realize, the enemy has been on us since we were children. If you have a predestined purpose, especially one fulfilling the Lord's grace, the enemy's been on you since you were a child. Heaven rejoices when a child is chosen and sent to this planet. With that rejoicing, the enemy is waiting for that, waiting for those trumpets to go off so that he can see what's going on and then follow it down. And so he can embed himself within your life to prevent you from walking in that purpose. If you are somebody who your purpose is tied to community or family, the enemy will attach himself to everyone around you, from a child all the way up, to make sure that you never feel safe in the community, to make sure you never feel supported, so that as you get older, you refuse to walk in that purpose because you're distrusting. If you're somebody who is supposed to be a public speaker, from a child, he will make sure that he puts people in your life that makes you feel like you can't speak, or who shuts you up, or makes you feel like nobody will listen to you, so that as you get older, you stop trying and you no longer fulfill that. If your purpose was to operate in love, to show others how to love, how to be loved, how to accept love, the enemy will make sure that he puts you in places and spaces where you're not feeling loved. You are taken advantage of, where any time that you tried to give love, that it was taken from you, stolen from you, so that when love does reveal itself, you won't even see it. He's crafty. That is the whole purpose of what he's doing on this planet. We need to understand the tactics of the enemy and understand that we are here to experience life. When you go through these bad things, you're supposed to take the lessons and leave everything else. It's the lessons that were embedded in those scenarios. You have to understand why those people were not trustworthy in that community. How much of yourself did you give that wasn't supposed to be given? The red flags you missed. You have to understand, when it came to you public speaking, did you motivate most people and there were just some people who didn't want to hear you? Why were those people not wanting to hear you? When it came to love, were you looking for something that someone else was not willing to give? And because they were not willing to give and you knew what you wanted, is that the reason why you were taken advantage of? Either way, there's always a silver lining. Understanding where you're going and who you are to your core will have you bounce back from those things. I personally had issues with community. I had issues with trust because every time I gave out trust, I was betrayed, and I mean every time. I had to overcome that. I had to recognize that people betraying me didn't say anything about me. It said everything about them. It showed me that my trust was misplaced because I assumed that if I gave trust, I'd receive trust. Hence the lessons, and I'll take those. Now, that doesn't mean that I shut off my trust, because there are people who need me to trust them. But it does mean that when it comes to trusting, I've set it up so that I'm successful and I'm no longer betrayed going forward. So I'm going to leave that here. We need to understand that the same way how we sow seeds toward positivity, the enemy is sowing seeds too. Now granted, they more like landmines, but it takes for us to get around his landmines, and in some cases dig them up so our children don't fall into those traps. The enemy is God stupid. Going against God don't make no sense. Oh, but he's human smart. He knows us in ways that we don't know ourselves, and that's how he's able to get in. All right, I'm gonna leave this here. I got a day to handle to get to. Stay blessed, family, and have a good one. Peace.